Welcome to Unbound, the podcast with Beth Curry, author, storyteller, and survivor. This is where books meet real life, where Beth reads chapters from her work and breaks free from the traditional audiobook format, diving deeper into the personal experiences, lessons, and liberation behind every page. Nothing is off limits. Let's get unbound.
Hey, it's Unbound Season 2, The Weight of Truth. I'm Beth Curry. This is Chapter 19, What's Next? Like the last episode, I'm not going to read this chapter word for word because parts of it, especially the scientific research sections with citations and glucose curve explanations and all that, that would be torture to listen to in audio format. I don't even know how I would read that to you. So I'm just going to talk about what's in it, why it matters, and how you can get the full chapter again as a PDF, just like the last one, if you want all the details, including the scientific references. Boring, but I had to include them. You have done the hard part if you've made it this far, if you've listened to all these episodes, if you've sat with the uncomfortable truths instead of running back to those comfortable lies, if you've allowed yourself to consider that maybe, just maybe, you're capable of more than you've been telling yourself, you've already done the hard part. You've looked at the truth. You've confronted the reality of food addiction, body image, trauma, identity crisis, chronic conditions, relationship struggles, the daily battle of maintenance, all of it. You didn't look away. You didn't make excuses, and you sat with it and listened to my annoying voice as I told you all of it. That takes courage, real courage, the kind that most people never muster. But like I've said before, the gap between reading or gaining information and implementing that information is where, people are stuck, right? They get stuck there and then they live there forever. I know the difference between understanding concepts and actually using them when life gets messy. I know the difference between being inspired for a week and staying committed for years. The tools in this book work. I'm telling you, the déjà vu, the groove shift, name them whatever you want to name them. The core principles, the core rule. I don't want to call it a rule. Tool. It's all the same, right? The worth it versus not worth it framework, all of it, it works when you use it consistently. But that consistency is where most people struggle, right? Not because they're weak or broken, but because changing decades of mental patterns while managing real life is fucking hard. It really is. Now, what I do beyond this book, I want to be clear, this isn't a sales pitch at all. I'm just letting you know a bit more about me, what's available if you want to go deeper. I do health and lifestyle coaching that goes beyond what's in this book. I guide clients through these exact methods, but we work together in your specific situations, your particular triggers, your individual patterns. I've had people describe it as like having a supportive friend who happens to have walked the path and knows where the pitfalls are. I'm not someone who has been skinny my whole entire life. And I'm just like, I have no idea what you're going through, really, like on the emotional level, but I have my PhD. So like I can, whatever, like it's, it's not that. I've been through it. I've been there. I know what you're feeling. I know what's hard. I know it's hard. I know. We dive into the mental work because that's where transformation actually happens, but I'm also practical. I know you don't need another complicated system that looks perfect on paper but falls apart when you're tired or stressed or dealing with actual human life. So I provide easy and uncomplicated meal ideas and grocery lists that work with, whatever eating style fits your body. I put the work in. I did the work, and I literally can provide that to you. Whatever eating style fits your body. Keto, gluten-free, vegetarian, high protein, whatever approach works for you. I've got simple plans that don't require 57 different ingredients or shopping at 17 different stores or specialty stores or anything like that. These aren't elaborate recipes with ingredients you can't pronounce. They're straightforward meals using foods you can find anywhere with prep times that won't take over your life. Because what I've learned during my transformation, the best plan is the one that you will actually follow. And you're more likely to follow something that's simple, practical, and fits into your real life instead of the perfect life you wish you had, right? So I call my approach the Undiet because diets end. And usually when the diet is over, because you hit your goal weight or you quit again, whatever, you gain it back because you start eating the things you restricted the entire time. Lifestyles don't end. Well, when you die, I suppose they do, but you get my drift. When you're eating the foods that you love, it's just a lifestyle. You're not removing your favorite foods. You're learning how to eat them. and handle the mental side of eating and still lose or maintain weight. So there's no possible way that when you hit your goal, you're going to gain it all back, because nothing changes when you hit your goal. You just keep living the same way you've been living. That's the whole point. Crazy, eh? I also want to offer you discounted access to my mental fitness masterclass for a price you can name. For less than the cost of one therapy session, you can transform your mind to set you on a path for 100% permanent success. This is a self-paced video with a runtime of 139 minutes. It's a digital product. I typically sell this for $175. It's often on sale on my website for $100. Right now, as of recording this show, that is the cost on the website. I am exploring the option of providing it as subscriber-only content or selling it through my Ko-fi account. I can't say for sure right now, but hopefully I will be able to do it that way, because then you can decide the price that you want to pay for it, because that makes it more accessible to people. I can't always give everything away for free, but I will definitely, in the Facebook group, in the comments on the post for this particular episode, I will actually provide the link, or I'll stick it up in the show notes at some point. Before we wrap up completely, I want to share one more practical tool with you. It's not a gimmick, it's science, and it's one of the simplest things that you can do to improve your blood sugar, reduce cravings, and support weight loss without restricting anything. It's about the order you eat your food. So here's the simple version. First, vegetables and fiber. So salad, cooked veggies, beans, avocado, whatever you've got. Second, protein and fat. So meat, fish, eggs, cheese, nuts, tofu, whatever works for you. Last, starches and sugars like bread, rice, pasta, fruit, dessert, all the good stuff. So why does this work? Because eating fiber first, then protein and fat, then carbs, slows down how quickly glucose hits your bloodstream. Your blood sugar spike is much flatter, and you stay fuller longer, and you avoid that crash craving cycle. It's not about restriction at all. It's simply about sequence. You're eating the exact same foods. You're just eating them in a different order. The full chapter includes the scientific research backing this up, studies from Stanford, controlled trials with pre-diabetic patients, meta-analysis on vinegar before meals, research on high protein and high fiber diets, all the nerdy stuff with citations and references. I'm not going to read all that to you because, it would be mind-numbing in audio format. If you want it, though, message me and I'll send you the full chapter as a PDF with all the scientific references, you geek. The chapter also includes why certain healthy habits make cravings worse, like fruit-only breakfasts or snacking on crackers and granola and skipping meals, and how to fix them. The 3 common foods that spike fat storage mode are white bread, white rice, and pasta, and sugary drinks, and how to neutralize them by eating vegetables and protein first, including adding vinegar or moving after eating. A full 5-day protocol to reset appetite, energy, and results without restriction. Simple habits like starting meals with vegetables, adding proteins to everything, keeping carbs for last, using vinegar before higher carb meals, walking after meals, and even snacking. I'm never snacking on naked carbs. So all of this is backed by research. All of it is practical and doable. All of it works synergistically to support weight loss and metabolic health. And again, if you want all the details with this specific scientific citations and references, message me and I'll send you the full PDF. So my final message to you is this. Whether you work with me or not, whether you use these tools or find different ones, I want you to remember what matters the most. And again, you can say it with me because by now you should have this memorized. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You do not have to earn your worth through suffering. You are allowed to want more and you deserve to have it. The weight of truth isn't always easy to carry, but it's the only weight that leads to freedom. Now go prove to yourself what you're capable of. Before I close out the season completely, I want to thank some people who contributed to my success and freedom. To spread the health wealth around, thank you to Jake M., Linda R., Jenna D., Tony and Deanna S., and Rachel P. for their teachings and contributions to my success, and to Dr. Karen and Dr. Nate for the expertise, references, counseling, and care. If you want, Chapter 19, What's Next, is a complete PDF with all the scientific research, citations, references, and detailed eating strategies. My contact info is in the show notes. Ask for the What's Next chapter PDF and I'll send it to you. No charge, no strings attached. The scientific citations and references mentioned throughout the book are also available upon request. Just ask. This has been Unbound Season 2, The Weight of Truth. We've covered everything from reality loop to the daily battle, from getting uncomfortable to the Mental Fitness Toolkit, from the mirror moment to what's next. Everything you need to transform your relationship with food in your body is in these episodes. Everything you need to maintain that transformation is in the tools we've discussed. But having the information isn't enough. You have to use it. You have to practice it. You have to choose it again and again until it becomes who you are. That's the work. That's the daily battle. That's the price of admission. And it's worth it. It's always worth it. Thank you so much for being here through this entire season. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for being willing to hear uncomfortable truths and face them anyway. Thank you for believing that you're capable of more. Thank you for proving to yourself that transformation is possible. Coming soon, Season 3, The Other Side of Quiet. Before I sign off, I need to tell you about what's coming next. On March 2nd, Unbound Season 3 begins, The Other Side of Quiet. This one is different. This one goes deeper. It goes back to where it all started, the trauma that created the weight in the first place. At 13, I learned that silence was survival. By 18, I'd perfected the art of disappearing. Trauma during my teenage years taught me that using my voice had consequences, so I stopped using it. I carried secrets that no one knew. I lived two completely separate lives. I became so skilled at protecting everyone else's comfort that I forgot my own even mattered. For decades, I survived by staying quiet, by making myself smaller, by building walls so high I almost forgot there was a person living inside them. But silence has a cost, and eventually the weight of all those unspoken truths became too heavy to carry. The Other Side of Quiet is a raw, unflinching memoir about what it really takes to heal from adolescent trauma. It's about the violence that silences us, the shame that keeps us hidden, and the brutal, uncomfortable work of finally speaking the truth out loud. This isn't a story about resilience or finding your voice through gentle affirmations. It's about surviving abuse, navigating loss, and learning the difference between self-protection and self-abandonment. It's about the messy, nonlinear path from trauma to healing and why staying quiet almost killed my spirit. If you've ever felt safer staying silent, if you've spent years making yourself smaller to keep the peace, or if you're ready to stop protecting everyone's comfort except your own, this season is for you. I need to give you a content warning. Season 3 contains discussions of abuse, trauma, violence, mental health struggles, suicidal ideation, infant loss, and other sensitive topics. This is heavier than Season 2. This is the foundation that everything else was built on. But it's also the story of how silence almost destroyed me and how finally speaking changed everything. The Other Side of Quiet, Season 3 of Unbound, beginning March 2nd. There's a Facebook group for discussion and community. Link is in the show notes. Email for coaching, the Mental Fitness Masterclass PDF chapters. You can try Beth at beamehealth.ca or just go to the contact information in the show notes. If you want to support production costs for the podcast, that's also in the show notes. All of my content is free, and it always will be. The podcast, the book readings, the tools, all free. Because removing financial barriers means more people can access what they need to change their lives. If you want to support the production costs, I'm grateful, but it's not required, ever. Final words, you're not broken. You never were. You just forgot how powerful you really are. Remember that. Go prove to yourself what you're capable of. I'm Beth Curry, and this has been Unbound Season 2, The Weight of Truth. Thank you for being here. I will see you March 2nd for Season 3, The Other Side of Quiet. Until then, go live the life you've been building. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Unbound with Beth Curry. Join the conversation in the Facebook group or visit author.bethcurry.com. Want to support the show? Head to ko-fi.com/unbound podcast. Until next time, stay unbound.